Hey, what is going on, you churn Chancy? So, a cheater was caught at Bogota, or however you pronounce it. I'm still not sure how you pronounce that special event. Literally, that just happened still today. As I'm uploading this video, the event literally just happened a couple hours ago and concluded. The player made it to the finals. They were DQ'd upon the judges hearing about the cheating that happened in top 8. And I reviewed what actually happened as far as the cheating goes in the top 8 match over on my stream. And those are the clips I'm going to be sharing with you guys here today. Now, in the first clip, I was trying to give the player the benefit of the doubt because I always believe or want to believe that no one's actually cheating in the Pokemon TCG, but cheaters do exist. They are out there. You got to be aware of them, and hopefully they get caught and banned, which is what I expect to happen to this player. So the clips here I'm about to show you is just me analyzing what happened, what the player actually did, and what was going on. So let's go ahead and let's just get right into it. So what we're looking at here is Eder picking up and shuffling.
Page isn't working right now.
They both just finished shuffling their own decks.
That's all I see is this page isn't working right now.
Right here. Eder and then Jonathan now offer their decks to be cut or shuffled or tapped. You can pick. You can do one. I mean, you can't actually do all of them because if you tap, you can't cut or shuffle. And then Eder goes to shuffle Jonathan's deck. And the thing you'll notice here is the top card never changes. And then right there is the thing we're looking at more specifically here. Is this right here. So it's a shuffle. The top card not changing on the first shuffle is not a big deal, because obviously there has to be a top card on the first shuffle. There has to be a top card. Okay, so the top card's there, and then this pull with the thumb from the front of the deck to the back of the deck, putting this card on top of the deck is a big deal. That's the big deal here. We see that pull from the back of the deck, one card pull with the thumb. That's just not something that naturally happens while you mash shuffle. When you're mash shuffling, you're not pulling one card from the front of the deck to the back of the deck. Okay, and then from here, each shuffle after this, the top card never changes. So what is assumed is happening here is Eder is taking cards that Eder think is best for Jonathan to draw on the first turn of the game to give Eder an advantage, are being pulled from the bottom of the deck when they come up on the bottom of the deck to the top. There's another pull with the thumb. Once again, another card was moved to the top of the deck. The top cards of the deck have not changed. Right here, once again, the top cards are still the same top cards. Goes through another shuffle. Goes through another shuffle. And we can see here, Eder is like looking down towards the bottom left here, like looking this direction down, which is presumably where Eder can see Jonathan's deck. And then sometimes Eder will look up and as if they're looking at Jonathan. So they're definitely changing where they're looking throughout the shuffling process. That's definitely happening. Whether or not they're looking at Jonathan's deck is kind of the question. It's kind of crazy. The bottom deck is changing occasionally too. Yeah, the bottom card of the deck is changing. Here we go again. Top card does not change. And then this pull here, it looks like one card being pulled from the bottom to the top. So if the bottom card changes, it becomes a bad card that Jonathan wouldn't want. So then Eder wants Jonathan to draw bad cards. Eder's putting the bad card from the bottom of the deck on top of the deck, and they're not changing the top card of the deck. Now, this is all relevant. Now, I know someone in chat's going to already say, they already have it typing, bro. They've been fiending to type this all day. They're like, oh my god, Azul's talking about someone cheating. I have to say this. You can shuffle or cut your opponent's deck. You can do it. You can cut or shuffle your opponent's deck. We know. We get it. It doesn't matter. The point is that Eder is potentially cheating here, and that's what we're talking about. Yes, obviously Jonathan could have cut. Actually, you can't shuffle the deck if your opponent shuffles the deck. Yes, obviously Jonathan could have cut the deck back after Eder was done. We get it. We know. Congratulations. You got your comment in there. All right, back to the the shuffle at hand.
I love this guy already.
Eder shuffles again.
He's actually a big Pokemon player.
There's once again, pulling with the thumb, the bottom card of the deck to the top card of the deck. We'll see how many time it's gone. Once again, a shuffle. The top card does not change once again. Here we go. We're still going. Here we go. And then, boom. Okay, Eder passes it to Jonathan. I don't know how many cards are stacked on top of the deck there. It was like 4 or 5. Once again, the top card never changed once those cards started being stacked on top of the deck. Actually, the top card of the deck didn't change a single time during Eder shuffling Jonathan's deck. Passes the deck back to Jonathan. Goes for the fist bump. Jonathan does not... Now, whether or not this fist bump is like a distraction from stopping Jonathan to think about cutting their own deck back after Eder shuffled it. Because if your opponent shuffles your deck... So when you offer your opponent to interact with after you shuffle your own deck, they can tap, cut, or shuffle. Eder chose to shuffle the deck. At that point, if your opponent chooses to shuffle, you may cut your own deck back. You may cut your own deck.
People are allowed to shuffle your deck?
Shuffle the deck.
Yeah.
If they cut or tap, you can't interact with your deck anymore. Eder, this fist bump could be a distraction tactic to make Jonathan not think as much about cutting their own deck. Because it's like, oh, I might go cut my deck. Jonathan's like, oh, I might go cut my deck. And then Eder's like, okay, fist bump. And Jonathan's like, all right, fist bump. And then it's like, all right, let's set up for game. Who knows? It might just be a natural fist bump. Who knows? That was like less relevant. And then Jonathan goes to draw the cards. Now, it's really hard to tell what cards Jonathan draws here. We're going to try and see them. I do have it in 0.5 speed. Because Jonathan draws and lays them out as 7, and then immediately flips through them in reverse. So the front card, theoretically right now, these front 3, or I don't know how many it was. I think it was like 4 or 5 cards that Eder seemed to have stacked on top of Jonathan's deck. So these 4 cards in the front here are theoretically the cards that Eder had set on top. So in that first clip, I know it looked bad, but I was trying to give Eder the benefit of the doubt. And looking back on it and rewatching it, it looked really bad. Like, it's no 2 ways around it, really, to be honest. But in the moment, definitely trying to give Eder the benefit of the doubt. Always want to hope the best from people. But this second clip really solidified it for me. And yeah, I was a little high energy in this one. So cursed a little bit and maybe popped off a little bit. But yeah, if you've got headphones on, maybe turn those down a little bit. Let's go ahead. Let's take a look at it. All right, we're getting to it again. Here we go. Nest Ball. Find Pikachu. There it is. There's the Arceus, and he puts it on top of the deck.
Wow.
Bro, and he puts it on top of the deck.
Jesus.
Bro, fuck this guy, bro. Ban his ass, bro. I'm done with this
Fuck
man
this
now,
guy.
bro.
Ban his
There's
ass.
no way, dude. I remember seeing this shuffle earlier. I was like, this is sus. Like, that was looked weird. And then he peeks and he searches for. Dude, fire this judge? Nah. Shut up with that shit, bro. That's just cringe. That's just cringe. Someone time out the person who said fire this judge. And then he gets the triple lightnings off of the thing, and then he shuffles 1 riffle. Top card does not change. It stays the Arceus V-Star. Shuffles again. Yep. Top card does not change. Only shuffles twice. And then he goes for the distraction tactic. He looks at his opponent's discard pile. There's 2 cards there. You can see them both. There's 2 cards and you can see them both. Why are you looking at the discard pile in the lost zone? Then Jonathan doesn't cut Eder's deck, and then Eder top decks the Arceus V-Star. Dude.
Crazy.
Yeah, then we skip ahead a little bit, and then he like pretends that the Arceus V-Star is like a big top deck. He like pretends the Arceus V-Star is like a big top deck. Oh my gosh. Does no, he doesn't get any. He doesn't get any of the rewards for second place. So we go through all this. The beat gets stuck in the active, and then yeah, he pretends to be surprised. Like he's like, oh, I need a good top deck here. Oh, peek.
That's crazy.
Actually, we should watch that one at normal speed. Holy dude, that's insane. That is so wild. I wonder if he does anything else throughout the game. Is it still there? Oh my gosh, bro, you love to see it. Oh wow. Well, you don't love to see it, but like you love to see him get caught. That's what I'm saying. You love to see him get caught cheating. Oh my gosh. See everything he made. We're not gonna yeah, we're not gonna go through everything in the game. That is hilarious though. That is so funny. We don't need to see any more, honestly. Yeah, we don't need to see any more. That was enough. This was perfect. That was the perfect amount. I can go to 434.15ish. Okay. Yeah, that's all we need to see, to be honest. Like, if he does any more, like he did more, but like that's enough. He's banned. Like, there's no way.
That's crazy.
Hey, what's up everyone? Welcome back to the channel. This is Smart Tcg, and today I'm going to be going over one of the more controversial matches that most recently happened at the Barcelona special event. This is going to be between Alberto and Tord Reklev, 2 very strong players, and today we're going to be going over exactly whether or not what Tord did was, you know, considered legal, and just, you know, kind of an abuse of the clock that he is playing, or if it's, you know, considered cheating. Now, slow play has been a major gray area recently, and Tord has admittedly been in quite a bit of controversy over the past couple of months. He was in some controversy after his round 1 at NAIC versus a notable Brazilian player, Pedro Pertusi, and this is just another situation as well where players aren't necessarily 100% sure whether or not this is slow play or whether or not this is just, you know, understanding how to abuse the clock. So this is going to be game 2. Tord was able to win a very close game 1, and in this game we're going to see Tord not actually do anything. I think that's important for us to know. He's pretty much just going to set a bunch of 1 prizers up on the field.
Doesn't Garrett talk about how much he doesn't like Tord?
There are situations in this match where Tord has the ability to progress the board state, you know, with things like
I swear I've heard Garrett say that he doesn't like Tord.
He's going to choose not to do so. So
I don't think I've heard him
anyways,
talk about it.
hopping into this, we see Alberto has a very, very strong start. They're going to be playing the Lost Zone Charizard deck. Charizard does hit weakness against things like the Gardevoir. So if you are able to get Charizard set up consistently, you do have a pretty okay matchup against this deck. Alberto is sitting at 9-1 and Tord at 8-2, so both of them can afford a loss here, and they're both in pretty decent spots right now.
Why are they wearing headphones?
We see Alberto does recognize that there only is 10 minutes left and has significantly increased his pace of play. So that's fine. Obviously, trying to increase your pace of play is totally fine, as long as you're not pressuring your opponent to increase your pace of play to that level as well. I think that's really important to understand. You don't want to pressure your opponent to play faster. However, you're totally, it's totally fine for you to increase your pace of play. So
that's watching it
we
live
see
right
the
there,
turn to Rare Candy. Incredible start here. And as you can see, Alberto's probably going to win this game just based off how the start is. Tord had a very mediocre start, had to burn level ball to be able to get down multiple routes, and you saw him kind of shaking his head. He was not very happy with the beginning of this turn here. So Alberto definitely recognizes clearly a seasoned player, knows that he needs to play quicker. So we do see the Cramorant coming up here. We got about 10 minutes left. And we are going to see the knockout here with that Cramorant spit innocently. Now, we're going to see exactly what Tord ends up doing here. We see the promote of the Ralts, spending a little bit of time there to promote that. Not really that big of an issue. No really slow play or anything like that happens here. So kind of compartmentalizing the hand, trying to figure out what exactly he wants to do. Asks how many cards are in the hand. Not necessarily incredibly sure how relevant that is. Maybe unless... yeah, so we'll see the Artisan. So gonna search through the deck here, see exactly what is in here, and we do see him putting the Kirlias, to his credit, already to the top here. Just kind of seeing exactly what is there. Looks like there is a Kirlia that is prized, which means we're only going to see 2 Kirlia hit the board on the bench. We do see the Manaphy as well. That just means that he's probably just going to build the board here and then use the Mirage Step. So totally okay here. Definitely played up to speed. Don't really have an issue with that. Now, one of the things that we might see a little bit later that a lot of people have been talking about is the consistent compartmentalization of your hand. That is something that you cannot do pretty much like every single time, looking at your hand off like every single search, pretty much just slowing down the game like that. That's something that a lot of people view as pretty much abuse of the clock and slow playing. So that's something that we'll kind of look at to see if potentially that is something that could have been given at least a warning or something like that, especially with Gardevoir. Gardevoir was a deck that can abuse the clock a lot, and Alberto needs to keep rolling here. We do see the escape rope here.
Yeah, I'm
I don't
watching.
necessarily know exactly why you need to play the rope. You could just Cramorant KO. Looks like Tord's trying to figure out here what to promote. Looks like we see the Ralts there instead of Manaphy, which means, yeah, just trying to prevent the Radiant Greninja. That makes sense because Alberto does play a couple of water energies actually on this list. So you see the concealed, or actually we just see the retreat, and we'll see the Cram KO. So Alberto's going to win this game. I think the game is like pretty much, he's just super far ahead. He has a Charizard on the bench, he's attacking with Cramorant, and things are very good for him. So Tord kind of hands out the hand here, looks at it. We see the Rare Candy in the hand as well. We see the 1 Refinement going to be used to discard the Rare Candy here. That's a big sign that Tord does not plan to attack this game. Just tossing away Rare Candy from this hand is a sign that he doesn't really want to do anything this turn. And we do see the other Refinement here, discarding the Zacian. Just pretty much another attacker. So as of right now, Tord has basically just given up on the game. He's just completely tossing away very useful attackers in this matchup in an effort to burn the clock. So we see the Artisan here. Artisan just being used. Now, this is completely legal. However, using Artisan to burn just a little bit of time, even when there hasn't been something like an Iono that has been played, for example, is interesting. It is legal, but it is borderline an abuse of the clock. But then again, it only looks like that.
So like what he's saying, is like, since he already knows he's not going to get any cards, but he's just doing to check his deck, he's saying that's the abuse of the clock, being time wasted. But in my opinion, like,
Not really.
it is, because he.
So if I'm using a...
Well, so like he already knows. Well, he already knows that he's not going to try to knock out or attack here because he got the. So this is right here is he got the game 1 win here.
Okay.
And he has to get 5 more prizes and all of them are one prizers.
Mm.
And there's about 7 minutes here, so he's gonna have to take a turn. So he's in turn one right here. He's being in turn, and then then it's gonna go to his turn. Then he has to take some time and go knock out another card. That's another prize. Then he takes his turn, go to his turn, knock out. So like,
So he's just burning out the clock to get that win. Okay, I understand now.
uh-huh. But that's just
That
how
guy
it,
should
yeah.
not play. I'm kidding. I mean, that's smart, but like kind of a dick move. Like I understand on both ends.
Like, I understand the frustration. To be honest, in my opinion, like abusing the clock is I hate it because he abuses it more than anyone. But in my opinion, it's definitely a skill to have. Because like you just being able to know, because he's not like taking forever.
Yeah.
He's still doing everything, but like it's just burning cards at times. Like you could use nest ball, search your deck, miss. So like you get a nest ball, search your deck, miss, shuffle, have your opponent cut, play nest ball again, and do the whole thing again.
Yeah.
Because legally the card says, search your deck for a card, put it on the bench, shuffle your deck. And obviously, if you're not going to put something you don't have to put something on the bench, so you can just literally fail it, because it still requires those actions.
Yeah.
Because we know that Tord.
Oh, because like someone could go, so you can also throw down 3 nest balls and put on all 3 cards. That's just playing faster, but technically, the cards also say, nest ball. You play TCG Live, you obviously can put 1 card at a time only.
Yeah.
Already has exactly what he
Live is the correct way.
So that's also something to kind of look at
obviously
too.
people
So
play differently because they're
and that's just kind of the sign where it's just trying to play as many cards as possible to burn the clock. So here comes a level ball here, and we know there's nothing that Tord plans to get, just simply trying to thin and burn time. That's all Tord is attempting to do here. So we see shuffle up here.
And then offers
looks
look
at
at it.
the deck here, looks at his discard pile, consults the hand, sees exactly what he's thinking about doing, and decides to retreat. Probably going to be going into the Ralts or Greninja. So this is right here. When you re-look at the hand, that's another thing. So that's like compartmentalizing your turns. That's something that's a little bit like stretched. You already looked at your hand, and then you retreated and looked at your hand again, which then thus burns more time. That's something right there that people kind of have an issue with, because you're effectively burning 10-15 more seconds just by doing that. So that's, I mean,
my argument would be I'm a fucking idiot and already forgot what was in my hand.
But like he's saying, because these people are like, so look at, he's 8 wins and 2 ties. He's 9 wins and 1 loss. So these guys are obviously skilled players and kind of like know their way around the game.
Yeah.
Like you it's different for you, because like you're probably not gonna be here like anytime soon. But he's just saying that these guys are just different because they're pros essentially, especially him.
Quick evolves that Charizard. I don't even know if I'd waste this time. I'd just try and attach.
See, then also he's saying that like he's also just, for some reason. Hold on, you can hear me, right?
Yeah, I can hear you. I'm listening.
So like he's like I'm saying, like he's also saying that he can literally just attack each time, since he's not gonna do anything, just to make it go faster. Because he's like,
I would do that.
Because he literally just evolved here, where he didn't need to. He literally can just like attack, but he doesn't have to attack with this, because he probably can just attach if he was smart.
Hello?
Sorry. And like he can literally just attach energy here, retreat to attack, knockout. Like he just wants to try to knock out the fastest possible. Like he literally just kind of wasted here, unless he already had energy. Like if he just had energy in hand, retreat. If not, just faster. Just go a little bit faster, because he also should be paying attention to the clock.
Action retreat.
Yeah.
But if they tie here, I don't think they're allowed to, because they're in Swiss.
And take the KO.
They're in top.
I don't know
at
what
this
that
point,
means.
I think it's
we
top
are going
cut.
to see the.
So like if you go to like a cup, there's like. There's uh, so like you go to a cup. There's like five. Like say you play 5 rounds, okay. And then
Correct.
okay, and then whoever is the top 8, they play Swiss, which is like another thing where it's only those 8 players play, and there's like and they play like 3 rounds essentially, whatever.
Okay.
So this is
Hmm.
basically this is day 2, I believe, and so like they I don't believe they can have any ties on day 2. I don't remember the exact ruling though. I
The
don't
big
quote me on that.
turn coming up here, that is the major one of controversy, that Tord is about to run about a 4.5-minute turn on
That's pretty
Alberto.
good.
Now here comes the escape rope. Tord looks at his hand once again.
See, look at this is taking forever.
Looks at promoting the Ralts here, promotes the Ralts. There goes the flower
Dude, why are you
selecting
doing
1,
this?
2, turboing through the deck here. Alberto has the boss's orders as well. You pretty much just kind of want to hold on to this at that point, unless there's a Gardevoir that comes up, and we do see the Cramorant that takes a KO. So, all right, here is the turn. This is the turn that Alberto. So basically,
Yeah, so he's
Tord
taking
knows
3
that Alberto has
prizes
3
and
prizes.
nothing
If this
else.
ever goes to time, Alberto wins. Alberto goes KO, KO.
Yeah.
And that means that Tord needs to burn 5 minutes off the clock here. Because if it goes to time and Alberto's at 3, then the game is just...
Essentially, what he's like he's already explained it, but if you look at his hand
Yeah.
and what he has, he can do it. Tord can
Mhm.
like easily do it, because this is a draw 2, this is a draw 2, draw 2, draw 2,
over. Because Alberto
and then there's a search right here.
will not be able to take any of his or will not be able to take 3 prize cards, because Tord, as I said, is not trying to actually win the game by taking 6 prizes. He's entirely playing towards the clock and completely slow playing this out. So here is the Fog Crystal shuffling up here. Shuffle, shuffle, shuffle.
See, like if he just was quicker, just attacked, he probably would have he would have like another extra minute, which he would need.
We do see the clock.
But because of that one
going
decision,
down
that
a
might
little bit
cost
more.
him.
Yeah, because he didn't really need to dig deeper.
There is the
No,
Fog
like you have the
Crystal,
guarantee shit at that
been
point.
used.
Like,
Looks at
what?
the
Why are
hand
you?
once more,
Yeah,
consults
well, I
his
mean,
options.
you
Fuck
know,
it up.
I think he's just kind of thinking that maybe later if he just decides to evolve, but he's not.
We do see the Radiant Greninja. Going to be getting rid of the energy there. 1, 2. Looks at that. Consults his hand again on what he wants to discard. Accept the energy. That right there is a little long, but it's not that big of a deal. But just how this turn is played out is just kind of ridiculous. So we still got 3 minutes left, and he's pretty much used all of his refinements. So the 3 refinements have been used in about a minute. So he now needs to pretty much continuously play useless cards to stall out the game here. So we see Super Rod coming out. Looks like we're going to... So like right there is just like those like little things that burn a little bit more time.
Is there a reason
I don't
Tord just
know.
kind of gave up?
It's a gray area. Some people will say that's cheating. Just like burning the clock. One of the things that Jason Klaczynski...
What'd you say?
I said, is there a reason Tord just kind of gave up?
No, because he didn't really give up. I mean, look at he got game 1.
That's fair.
He's just playing Super Rod, and he's just taking a sweet time.
He most famously
Because look at
did
like
was
look,
when he played
remember when it came to his turn, it was already like 4 minutes and something.
versus Enrique Avila in the finals of nationals. He would kind of like shuffle his hand like kind of with like his finger just to like burn time almost, or just would kind of like fan out his hand a lot just to burn time. So yeah, here's
I kind of do
level ball
that,
going
but not
into-
on
so
purpose.
this is where Tord is literally conceded the game that he's not going to take any prize cards. He's just trying to burn time. So this is all just an effort to completely abuse the clock, which once again, whether or not that is considered cheating or not is the question. So this is where once you're pretty much like reassessing the hand every single time, is something that a lot of players do think should not be allowed. And I believe it's actually in the rule book where when you're compartmentalizing your actions every single time like this is borderline. This is borderline. That's something that a judge could have potentially looked at and said, okay, you are getting a winner DCL for your pace of play in this game.
You got this,
We do
Tom.
see the Mew here. Mew's going to be used.
Work tomorrow? That's good.
Thinking about what to do.
I choose not
here.
to work on
There's the level
Tuesdays
ball, and then
and
we do see the
Wednesdays.
level ball. So, did he
These
shuffle
vacuums?
and then? Here, let me
These are
look
really
back.
good. Like, too good. Like, I
So
could eat.
Yeah, don't do that.
let's go
I could
rewatch
eat
this
them
right
and
here.
stuff.
Okay, so this is fine.
Oh,
Gets the
shouldn't do
Mew
that.
down from the level ball, right?
Well, maybe you do.
Let's see. So this is where. So he level balls for the Mew, shuffles the deck.
No,
He
it's
lost
fine. I'll turn it off.
vacuums. That. We see the attach retreat. So he shuffled the deck and has not searched yet. This okay, so this right here. So Tord has one of the you know, kind of important things when you're playing Pokemon a lot of the time is, you know, let's say I play something like an Evolution Incense first, then I plan to play another Evolution Incense. I'll simply tell my opponent, hey, I'm gonna go back in, you don't need to bother shuffling my deck. So that right there, basically, as I said, this is entirely built on abusing the clock. And what Tord did here was he shuffled his deck up, you know, got something like that Mew out, shuffled, then played Lost Vacuum. So technically he's made another action, which makes this level ball not really able to be penalized as much. However, once again, we're really diving into that gray area here, because if Tord had gone level ball, shuffle, look at the hand, level ball again, shuffle, that right there 100% should be called. However, this is a very big gray area that a lot of people, personally, I think this is cheat. Like, personally, I think that you should not be able to do that, because effectively he gets an extra 15 to 20 seconds worth of shuffling that normally should not be there. So that 15 to 20 seconds should not be there, but since he played Lost Vacuum in between shuffles, it makes it a little bit more you know, kind of acceptable. So it's not necessarily totally acceptable, but once again, Tord's entire plan is not to take any prize cards or progress the board state. He's just trying to stall the game out and play a 4-minute turn. Now, as you can see, Alberto is not happy right now. Definitely getting pressured. So looking at the discard pile once again, that's another thing, just burning time. This Mysterious Tail took a little bit of time. Could have definitely been quicker. Puts the Ultra Ball into hand, chooses not to shuffle. That's important there. And then just plays the Ultra Ball. There's the Ultra Ball. So we're at 1 minute left. Let's see how long this search takes. Okay, so about 7 seconds. And then we'll see the shuffle, which will probably take 15 to 20. Oh, and he's still searching. So, okay, we're exactly right at the 15-second threshold. Now, the rule of thumb is 15 seconds per action. However, you shouldn't be taking 15 seconds per action. If you're hitting that threshold of 15 seconds per action, you need to be playing faster. So it's just kind of like a barrier of you really should not be going past that time. Here's Arcana, 1, 2. And there is the Power Pad, because now Tord can shuffle even more. So there's another thing. Not choosing to take prize cards. Here, Tord can look at the discard pile first. Before playing the Power Pad, yeah, we'll just take out the supporters here. Looks like does that. Is going to reassess the hand. So that right there is like not really necessary to then put it back. Like, you already know you're going to do it. So, and now at this point, time is about to be called. Tord has effectively ran 5 minutes off the clock here by doing absolutely nothing.
Ain't that
Now,
crazy?
that, you know, once
That's
again, ask the
fucking
question,
wild.
Is this what Tord is doing considered legal
And
or
then
not?
now-
That's
see,
one
now
thing. I think there definitely
he
were some
can't take
situations where he really pushed the
knockouts
boundary a
and-
little bit.
'cause he's turned 0,
However,
1,
a lot of the
2,
rules allow
3.
this right now
He's only gonna be
currently
able
to
to pick up 2
happen. So
knockouts.
there have been worse situations on
Damn.
stream that have came up, but I do think that this was a situation where Tord definitely could have gotten a penalty in this game for slow play, especially just effectively using all that time to not really do anything, but also really extending, you know, that time, pretty much hitting that barrier of 15 seconds per action every single time, and also looking back at the hand every single time, fanning it out, pretty much using those situations, you know, as a way to just simply burn the clock. And now the game is over. Alberto can't do anything, and the game will end by Tord absolutely doing nothing. So the big question is this actually slow playing or cheating? My opinion is I'm currently in the middle. I definitely think that it is something that needs to be addressed. It's definitely something that needs to be addressed. I think that Pokemon needs to make a statement on this type of play, because I personally don't think it should be allowed, but it's being allowed right now, and that's, you know, kind of the difficult situation that we're in. So let me know what you think, because also there was a recent thing, well, not really recent. We have a player that's actually been banned for the past 5 years because they wrote an article about how to play slower and stuff like that when you win a game, pretty much just talking about all the things that top players do when they win a game that are kind of like that gray area cheating. So kind of have to ask yourself, you know, whether or not that is considered cheating or not, because
Do I
if
want to
it's
be a
not being
dickhead or
allowed
actually
here,
play the
then why
game?
are there players that have been banned in the past for doing it? It's either you ban the players that are doing this, or you unban the players that have, you know, advocated for this, if it is truly a legal you know, way to play Pokemon. So anyways, let me know what you think in the comments, whether or not this was cheating or not. Just, you know, kind of something that I figured I'd want to go over. Not calling anyone out or anything like that, so please don't riot